Dope Discussions Podcast. Dope discussions, Gator Erica woke discussions, mob ties, how they rock and think they both was cousins, gifting you with their words so you might know you something. Just go and look for them live, they do it every Sunday. Every Sunday.
And we gon' bring you that dope.
And we gon' bring you that dope. It's Gator Beater, baby. Main state to state, baby, coast to coast. Like the fire, baby, spark to Joe.
And we gon' bring you that dope.
Come talk with Erica, man, talk with G. And all you gotta do is talk with me.
And we gon' give you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' give you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, 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 what's up? What's happening, everybody out there in the virtual congregation?
Welcome back to another Sunday edition of Dope Discussions with Erica and Gator Live.
It's Gator Beater, baby. Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Make sure y'all take y'all seats. If y'all didn't get a program, make sure y'all get that program on the way out. We interrupting the service and getting up, raising your hand. No, we ain't doing that today.
After the service, y'all stay back. We're going to have some cookies and some juice.
We're going to have some cookies and juice. Matter of fact, we're going to have Delaware punch.
I hate that punch. And it burned the throat.
Exactly. We used to act like we was drinking a beer or something. We'd be like, got it.
Thought we was grown.
For real. And we used to hijack the cookies.
Yes.
Them little vanilla cookies with the little hole in the middle. Yep. Stack them on the fingers and roll out. And don't have the little chocolate speckles in them. Oh yeah, them was the business. What's up, QNC? How y'all doing? Happy holiday. Hey, joyful and blessed. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. Have a happy holiday today. What y'all doing? Y'all grilling? Hey, Tashira. Right. Yeah, girl, cookies and juice. You know you had that cookies and juice after the Baptist service. For real. And if y'all are cooking, I got to ask the question, where my plate?
Yeah.
Where my plate at?
Can a brother and a sister get a plate?
For real, because I believe in hijacking the cookout.
Yes, we got another dope discussion for y'all today. But before we get into our discussion, well, let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about that hustle culture. And are we sacrificing our health, mental and physical, for the grind? Are we going to grind ourselves into an early grave? Because we always on the grind and we always got to hustle. I'm hustling 24/7. I could sleep when I die. Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw the topic up, I kind of felt hit. Because, I got like 4 to 5 jobs depending on the time you catch me. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you a hit dog gon' holler. That's what the old folks say.
Right. So this is going to be educational for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But before we get into the topics, I want to kind of chop it up about some things that happened over this past week. Since we were together last Sunday.
Yeah.
Ooh, child, it's been a week.
Ooh, it has been. This has been a crazy week. This definitely has. Look, I'm out here playing bumper cars on the on the road and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's been a little rough.
So that feeds into the topic of today because Gator Live got into a wreck. Then this Negro went and got in the car and went back to work.
I can say, if you don't get your butt to the house, I was like,
and let it marinate.
I was like, let me go ahead and take 1 or 2 more right quick. You know, look, I was rocking it till they was like, no, we got to go ahead and turn it off. All right, dang.
Shoot, I remember this one particular day. I had left my house to go somewhere, not really far away from home, and on my way there, 3 people almost hit me. 3 different people almost hit me in that little period of time, and I was like, I'm going back to the house.
Yeah, that's a sign. It's like, let me get back to the house because the energy ain't right out here.
Something ain't right out here.
Right.
So I went back home.
It definitely ain't. Yeah, I sat there. I thought about it too. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to get right back out here, but you know, I had to go home and eventually rest my nerve.
about to die for the hustle.
Right. You know, I was trying to get like inside information on our topic this week. So
okay,
that's
what it was. Research.
Yeah, it was a little research.
Well, over this past week, so I did have that on my list of one of the events that happened over the week. Let's talk about Tabitha Brown and Wendy Williams. How to read somebody, right? How to read somebody in the Lord's power.
Right. Because you ain't gotta get on there and get ratchet and cuss people out and You literally roasted your girl and gave her love at the same time.
Yes.
You roasted her in love. You know what I'm saying? That bird carcass had hearts all over it.
And thank you. That's the thing about people who are hurt and bitter is when you respond in love, they don't know how to take that because they're so used to the nastiness and the, throwing shots at people that they expect that in return. But when you hit them back with that love, they don't even know how to speak that language.
Right, exactly. And my biggest thing with that was certain people don't need to talk. Certain people don't need to throw stones because they living in glass houses. And to be completely honest, they living in that sugar glass.
Exactly.
Like you can have tap on it and it'll fall down.
She projected her experience with her ex-husband onto these people marriages, on this couple's marriage. Y'all whole situation is totally different.
Right.
Your marriage and their marriage is nothing alike. Your husband and her husband are nothing alike.
Exactly.
The situation is nothing alike. So for you to sit there and say, "Oh, I predict that this marriage will be on the rocks in a few months."
For real, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Look, you got to be bitter to look at somebody's happiness and look at somebody's joy and poke every hole that you can find in it.
Exactly.
That's why I was so glad that the retort was so sweet and so loving, because that way, Wendy couldn't come back and say, well, and start shaking the head and get on her attack and offensive. When you get hit with love and get basically reprimanded with love, ain't much you can say. But okay.
when you're coming from a place of peace,
right?
You can't stoop to somebody else's level. Let me see what these comments saying. Quincy said, "Gator, if you need a good lawyer, I know one on the back of the phone book. we don't even have phone books no more."
Right. Exactly.
No, we don't.
Phone books. I don't. You know what? I haven't seen a phone book in years.
Yeah, Joyful and Blessed said, "Yeah, don't be trying to curse people's marriages." Yeah, that's not even cool. And even if I'm coming from, if my marriage failed, and if I've had plenty of bad relationships and bad outcomes, but I still don't wish that on someone else. And I know that it's possible. I know that there are people out there having good, loving relationships. Just because I haven't had one doesn't mean that nobody's having one.
Right, exactly. Don't try to, hate. Try to participate. Find you somebody who can give you that same attention and love and, understanding that Tabitha has with her husband. You
Exactly.
know?
So our next topic, we're gonna talk about Miss Shakari Richardson.
Mm.
Everybody's in up in arms because she tested positive for marijuana. Now she can't be in the Olympics, but this is a young 20-year-old woman who has had a hard upbringing, and she is doing something phenomenal that nobody
Yeah.
else in her age has ever done. She's also been fighting against a lot of public criticism about her appearance, the way she
Oh yeah.
dresses, her sexuality, and she still pushed through all of that and done something great. And now for this to happen, where she found out that her biological mother passed away, and she found out in a way that wasn't even sensitive. She found out from a reporter,
Right.
and then she smoked some weed to calm herself, and now everybody's in these social media. Oh, she knew better, or she should have did it, or she shouldn't have did it. She knew the rules. That's what I be talking about. Come on, where's people's compassion and empathy in this time and day?
Right. Right. Exactly. So here's the thing. Yeah, she did know better. Yeah, yeah. But one of the things that I've seen from her is that she takes full responsibility for what
Mm-hmm.
happened. Instead of us tearing her down and and I was disappointed. I hate seeing that for her because that girl got Flojo energy.
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely someone who is going to be on the radar for years to come down the line. And the extravagance and the boisterousness and all that is what that sport needs.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I was disappointed in the fact that she couldn't do it. I was disappointed that she did, but you'll never see me try to, crap all over her. There were
Right.
so many people who were putting out those, like you say, putting out those messages and those memes, like, I'm mad, I'm disappointed in you. This is the time to lift her up.
Exactly.
Yeah, you made a mistake. We understand the rules are the rules. You can't compete, but we're not going to tear you down. Just this is something for you to learn from and to proceed later, better. And if y'all really want to be upset about anything, you just go to the Olympic people and say, hey, why do y'all still have a rule that's there for weed? And I understand it can be deemed a performance enhancer, but why are y'all trying to jump on her, instead of trying to jump on the IOC to try to legalize marijuana when it's legal in half the world right now?
Well, the
So,
thing about it is she smoked it in a state where it's legal.
right, exactly. Now she did it in a state, but the people who tested her were the Olympic committee. So
Right.
yeah, but I mean, which is worldwide, but at the same time, they need to really start reviewing these rules. I mean, the NFL did it, NBA did it. I think any amateur athlete should have the right to live their life, and if if it's legal in most places, then it should be legal with the IOC.
Right. And even if it was illegal, if she messed up, all of that's fine and dandy. She has to take her consequences. But just the people, saying all this nasty stuff about her, just
Right.
idiotic, like
Right.
y'all haven't made stupid mistakes in your 20s and you're still making them in your 30s and your 40s.
For real.
And we just don't know the stupid mistakes that you're making.
Right, exactly, because you don't have a camera on you 24/7. They watching her like a hawk. Everything that she do, everything that she says is news. So
It was just, yeah, a lot of them was just waiting for that gotcha moment. I told y'all she wasn't what y'all was saying she was, and this and that and the other.
right. And you know what the crazy part was? It wasn't even the non-melanated folks that was doing it.
That's the thank you.
It was us.
That's what's the really terrible part about it. Is like, how much self-hatred do you have to live with every day to
Right.
always want to put it off on somebody else and tear people down?
Right.
Come
exactly.
on, man. I'm sick of
Exactly.
y'all. Social media make me just want to scream sometime. All of the negativity and the nastiness.
That's why a lot of times I'll just disappear off of social media for a little bit. They'd be like,
It's
"What day that,
disgusting.
children?"
It's disgusting.
Oh yeah,
Well, but on a brighter note, lighter note,
yeah.
the Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown versus. Ooh, wee!
All right, so I gotta take my lick, right?
What?
So I saw y'all in the Pod Spot chat. I couldn't retort because I was working, of course, But I heard Keith Sweat all the time. I figured Keith Sweat was gonna win. I just was like, y'all gotta stop putting disrespect on the name of the king of R&B. I kept saying it.
Yes.
I was like, y'all gotta stop doing it.
Let me get to this comment before we get deep into it. Joyful and Blessed says, so true. We all make mistakes and continue to.
Mm-hmm.
It typically is the Black people who got more to say and tear each other down than anyone else. Some Black people aren't happy at the success of others. Ma'am, you
Very
just
true.
said a whole word. Yes.
Very true.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, Keith was.
Oh, yeah. And look, y'all, when I looked at Afion and Spice, they did, they do every verse. They do their own little version. My whole back, my whole size was hurting. And even Spice was killing himself laughing. He couldn't even stay in character because he was laughing so hard at Afion. Because not only Afion did Keith Sweat, but he also did DJ Cassidy too. And every time he came out doing DJ Cassidy, Spice just lost it. He was like, "Man, go put DJ Cassidy up, bro. I can't."
Right.
But yeah, I knew Keith got hits on. I mean, Keith got his own hits. Then he wrote for some of the other groups that I love, like Silk, LSG. He even wrote some songs for Drew Hill. Yeah. And I was like, I had a debate with one of the guys on Instagram, and he was like, "Y'all sleeping on Bobby?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "So when Bobby bring out some of them new edition hits, it's gonna be all over." I said, "But this is a versus between him and Keith. It's not, their groups." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Well, why wouldn't he bring out his hits from the other groups?" I said, "Well, if he do that, then Keith gonna hit him with the LSG,
right. It was gonna be some
cut close,
right, exactly. So it was one of those things where I just didn't feel like they was giving by. Now I will say this because I always bring up Billboard when they start talking about it. Billboard scored the win for Bobby Brown, and it's because they, like I said, they start thinking about those hits.
Popular
as opposed to the pop hits. So they scored that win for Bobby Brown. But everybody knows in their heart.
But in the hood.
In the hood.
We
baby, in time. We was on there.
We was conceived.
Right.
From some of that music.
Exactly. Quite a few was conceived and has done some conceiving.
And did our own conceiving. Nobody.
Right.
Man, I used to love to sing the girl part on that song.
Oh.
I thought I was her.
Oh, yeah. In the car jamming.
Yes.
But shout out to both of them brothers. They was really trying to do. I seen a meme with Bobby Brown with the round belly. Now, I ain't want to be able to talk about round belly. But
I loved it. I loved the competition. It was all in love because they did an interview on the Breakfast Club right before the show.
Yeah. And
they were talking about how they were really good friends and they were just looking forward to, showing love to each other's music.
Right.
And I think Keith even told a story about when his mom was real sick. And right before she passed away, Bobby came to his house and he cooked for his mother and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that Bobby's a pretty good guy anyway. He's he used to like
just
rap,
been through been through a lot.
You know what I'm saying? He just been through a lot. So
right. But big ups to both of them. It brought back so many memories. And then my very first cassette tape that I ever bought with my own money when I started working Was that my prerogative?
Oh yeah.
And baby, I guarded that with my life.
For real. People don't realize how big Bobby was back then. Everybody wanted to be the king of R&B. They wanted to be Bobby Brown. You know, but it's just so cool that this versus thing is taken off.
Yes.
You know, because now we do get to see who you like Monica, I like Brandy. Well, who's better, Monica or Brandy? You know, you get to see those types of things. So I'm excited about that.
It
I'm
just
excited
brings
about
out a lot of it brings out a lot of camaraderie, even a little friendly competition, but it's still all love because we love both of the artists anyway.
Exactly. You know, we was I forgot who's the next verses, but I know I was talking to somebody about actually like watching this from the perspective of, hey, we seeing history kind of go unfold. I don't think they're gonna be doing this 10, 15 years from now. You know, you ain't really got artists out there that have legendary catalogs that could do those things. But we could do like what we did the Earth, Wind and Fire and Isaac Brothers. Watch along, you know. Those are groups that have catalogs that extend years and years and years.
And now they're creating new moments in history.
Right.
All right. So before we get into the discussion, we have a few small business spotlights that we want to highlight.
Yep. Business spotlight. Like I said, I like that little thing. That's actually pretty cool.
Yes. So for our first small business owner, this is Miss Alicia Briggs. She is from Hammond, Louisiana. She is a Mary Kay consultant, and her business is called Hello Gorgeous. You can contact her at www.maryk.com/abriggs134. That is her website. You can also give her a phone call at 985-514-6453, or you can email her at briggsalici@yahoo.com. So if you are already in love with the Mary Kay products and you're looking for a consultant to get your products through, go ahead and get in contact with Alicia Briggs.
Yeah, you got to know Mary Kay is good product because Mary Kay been around for years and years and years.
Oh, yes.
You know, I wonder if they're still giving out pink Cadillacs.
I'm not sure.
That used to be the thing, I'm telling you.
All right, our next small business owner, her name is Miss Felicia Briggs, and she is an independent consultant with Paparazzi. You can call her at 985-322-0179 or visit her website at paparazziaccessories.com/420-255, or you can email Miss Felicia at felicia.briggs@yahoo.com. Go ahead and get some of that paparazzi $5 jewelry.
Right.
I love it. I love that I can just spend $5 and get myself blinged out for an event, you know, or a night out or whatever, because I'm not one of those girls who like to spend a lot of money on jewelry, you know, purses and stuff like that. If I can look good and save money, that's the route I'm always going to take.
Exactly. At $5, I mean, if you know how to accessorize, and you know Miss Briggs gonna hook you up anyway, make sure you got the right accessories for $5. If you know how to accessorize, you don't need that Birkin bag.
Exactly. Put that Birkin bag money in the bank.
Right. You know how many hidden treasures you could buy for the price of a Birkin bag?
Mm-hmm. All right. And our third and final small business spotlight of the day, we have Miss Nadia Francois, and she is the owner, operator, and CEO of Power Conversations magazines. She helps business owners, advertise and put their businesses out in her magazine. If you are interested in reaching a broader audience and advertising in her magazine, you can go ahead, contact her visit her website at www.powerconversationsmagazine.com, or you can send her an email at info@whatsuperpower.com. Again, that is Miss Nadia Francois, and she is a resident of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So y'all go ahead and contact her.
Right. Definitely endorse the hometown heroes. We are all the way.
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our topic of tonight, the hustle culture. Are we sacrificing our health for the grind?
Right, exactly. Now, of course, Erica just mentioned she was fussing at me the other day because I decided that after I got in the accident, I was going to jump back in the car and do some more Ubering, sacrificing possibly my health and well-being for the hustle and the grind and trying to get that money. It's not always a good thing. Sometimes you need somebody to fuss at you like Erica was fussing at me.
I think it's great that we can have a balance. We want to be goal oriented. We want to pursue our dreams, our goals, but we don't want to do it to the detriment of our physical and our mental health. And I
Right.
think our society has created a toxic view of, go get that bag, chase that money by any means necessary, hustle 24/7. If you ain't getting up at 5 in the morning and going to bed at 2 a.m., you're not doing nothing.
Right.
You don't want it bad enough. You got to get up earlier than me if you want to out hustle me. So it's become a competition. It's become like a, bragging rights. It's become, a badge of honor, and it's become like a status symbol of, I can out hustle you, and I'm making more money than you, and I'm building businesses, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But at the end of the day, you have to really consider, what is the motivation behind it? Are you doing it to make yourself feel better? Are you doing it to elevate yourself above other people? Are you doing it to make yourself feel important? Are you really chasing something, or are you running away from something? Because a lot of times people become consumed with work, and it's because they're trying to keep themselves occupied from dealing with themselves or thinking about some of the things that they haven't dealt with or they suppressed. I know for me personally, I became a workaholic after my divorce.
Yeah.
I got a second job, then I got a third job, and all of that. It wasn't really that necessary. I mean, it wasn't. I did need more money to kind of compensate for not having another adult in the home,
Right.
but it wasn't to the point where I was, I needed it. I just needed to keep myself busy. I just
Right.
needed to make myself feel like I'm being productive, and I'm still moving on with my life, and I'm not worrying about him not being here anymore. I'm not hurting. I'm doing better now than I was when he was here. And so that was an unhealthy reason for me to do that, instead of just sitting with myself and really dealing with, yes, you are hurt. Yes, you are disappointed. Yes, you are lonely at the moment. Yes, you are, dealing with something, and you're trying to run away from it by working all these different jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes, it's basically what you said. It's a trauma response. When we have something well, some people, when they have negative things happen to them, they fall back on work. I think I mentioned this to you before. When my mom passed away, the very first thing I did right after I found out that my mom passed away was I went back to work. I had left work for the day, and I went back, and it's because that's how I was dealing with that trauma at the time. Now, since then it's a completely different monster. But I know a lot of people, when they have traumatic experiences that happen, one of the first things they do is they bury themselves in their work. They try to hide from, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just trauma like that. It could be something going on at home. Maybe you and your husband or you and your wife aren't having the best relationship right now. You've got, a lot of stresses going on at the home. You got, issues with family and all that kind of stuff. And you just go into your bubble and work, because at the end of the day, when you're working, a lot of times you can feel more comfortable than having to interact and face your problems that you got going at home.
It's a temporary Band-Aid for a situation that ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Because it's still going to be there. Once you really sit down and get still, you still got to deal with it.
Right, exactly.
Tashura says overworking or the hustle mentality is a form of self-hate that's socially acceptable, coming from someone that works 7 days a week and barely sleeps.
Now, I was about to fuss at Tashura because,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
She's working right now. Yep.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's a form of, it falls under the umbrella of perfectionism, where you never feel like you're doing enough. And, I'm not doing as much as I know I can be doing, or I'm not doing as much as she's doing over there. I see she's doing this, she's doing that, and I'm just doing this. I should be doing more. I should be at least at the level that she is, or at what he's doing. I see he's doing, and I feel like social media has contributed to so much of that. We look at what other people are doing on social media, and then we start to compare ourselves and be like, well, I must not be doing enough, so I need to do more.
Right, because we start feeling like, it's whether we acknowledge it or not, when we see people that are moving and shaking, and in our spirit, we want to get to where they are, it's a competitive thing. This is how they're getting they grind. This is how they working. This is how they got where they got. So I guess I need to do the same thing. And you be to wore yourself out trying to be like these folks that's online, because you don't know their whole story. You know what they post. Right. They could put as many filters and as many inspirational quotes and everything on stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't know what they're doing. These folks still got to sleep. And even if they ain't got to sleep, you are responsible for you, not responsible for them. Let them burn out and go at 60. I want to live until I'm like 90. So you're really responsible for yourself.
And it is also like an addiction, like an adrenaline addiction. I had to really, when I started really pulling myself back and self-reflecting and just examining my motivations for doing certain things and why are you really doing that? And I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was getting involved in, and one project behind another, one thing behind another, I really realized that your heart is not in this. You are just doing this because you think that's what you should be doing. You see other people doing it, and then you've got other people telling you, you be good at this, you be good at that. Oh, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And then you feed into that and it makes you feel good. And then you just start going with the flow and doing stuff. But then you really pull back and realize my heart is not really in this. I'm just doing this because it looks good. I'm just doing this for the accolades. I'm just doing this for the congratulations or the bravos, or I'm proud of you. But it's not in my heart to be doing this.
Right. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying we get kind of like that a lot because we'll lend ourselves to things because we see other people lending themselves. Like they can juggle all these things. Why can't I juggle all these things? I should be able to do the same exact thing that they're doing. And before long, all those little balls start to fall to the ground, and we still sitting there trying to grind, and you end up grinding for nothing at the end of the day.
I had to talk to myself and allow myself to permission. It is okay if you rest. It is okay if you take a day and say, I'm not doing absolutely nothing. And I'm not condemning myself from feeling lazy. That's been my issue with myself my whole life, is that if I'm not doing something, then I think I'm lazy. I'm being lazy.
Right.
Or there's something you could be doing. And I think that a whole lot of women suffer with this is even with your children. If you're not doing something for your children, then you're thinking of something to do. You're making up things to do. You're trying to keep yourself busy because you feel like there is something else that I could be doing. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll think of something. And we never allow ourselves to just rest and just decompress and just be at ease in our own company, in our presence. And I think that this society has created that. We've added to it. We sometimes we add our own pressures on us, and then we fold under the pressures of society. But we have to really get in tune with what is good for me. What is good
Right.
for me? And when I stop viewing myself in through the eyes of what other people are going to think about what I am doing, then I
Right.
can be okay.
Right. And you know what? You said something a second ago that really hit me just now because, as you know, I had the accident the other day,
Hmm.
and it felt weird not being able to get out there, and it was an uncomfortable feeling
Hmm.
when I had to be forced to
Hmm.
rest.
Hmm.
You know, and that kind of speaks to the fact that maybe I am working too hard.
Hmm.
You know, when I can literally sit there and be like, oh, I'm just shaking. I'm trying to find something. I got to do something. I got to do something. Yeah, maybe it is time to kind of take a rest, decompress. You know, I was talking about this earlier before the show started with someone. Just like, hey, look, I need to get out more. I need
Hmm.
to, take more vacations. Do you know,
Socialize,
enjoy life,
socialize.
socialize. You know, do
Hmm.
those things because I mean, at the end of the day, you can't go back and replace time. Time is undefeated.
Right,
So the things that you can't do or you don't or choose not to do now, you can't do that 30 years from now.
right.
I can't go run a couple laps around and get myself in shape. 30 years from now, it's gonna be too late by then.
Yes. And I think it's also a cultural thing. As Black
Yeah,
people, we always feel like we have to be achieving more than other races. We have to work
yeah,
10 times harder than other races just to be on the same level with them. And so if we're not constantly working and doing something, we're going to be looked upon as lazy.
right. And that happens a lot in the corporate space where you end up having to work. You feel like you have to work 5 times harder than the next person, just to be noticed,
Just to be equal to them.
just to be equal, just to be noticed, just to contribute to what's going on. And to be, completely honest, that's not always the case. It feels like it though.
Hmm.
So when we get in that mentality, you get told that when you little, like, because you Black, you got to work 10 times harder than the next person.
Hmm.
You
It's
know,
it's grained in us
it's
already.
ingrained in us. We don't
But
know nothing else.
when we start neglecting our physical health and our mental health, we're not even checking in with ourselves. And especially for Black men who hustle, 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 go, go, go. If they have a woman in their life, she has to beg them and force them to even go get a physical checkup, go to the doctor, get seen
Yeah,
about, and then they can go for years and years, high blood pressure, diabetes, they having all kind of headaches, but they won't even go stop and see the doctor because they feel like if I don't work, I don't eat, I gotta, I don't have time to stop and go see no doctor and this and that and the other, and I'm doing this for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
I'll take time off next month, I'll take time off next year, and then it prolongs it and prolongs it. Before you know it, your body's going to shut you down.
Right, right, right. Because your body gonna tell you. It's like, you know what? You pushed me far enough. Now I'm not doing it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens unfortunately to a lot of Black men. It's why we end up, dying so fast,
Right.
and so early in life is because we neglect a lot of those things. You're right. Like when this comes down to the doctor and it comes down to trying to take care of ourselves, a lot of times we're so focused on trying to, be that provider
Mm-hmm.
that we forget that they need us. there. You know what I'm saying? Providing is not always just the food you put on the table. Sometimes it's the nurturing that you give, it's the support that you give, and those types of things. And a lot of times, we think about it in a monetary sense. And as Black men, we have to realize that it's more than just that.
Exactly. And being a workaholic, it's looked upon as a positive thing in our society because
Yeah,
at least you're not doing drugs, at least you're not, robbing people. You're just working. But it's still a drug. It's a substitute for something that you're trying to suppress, that you're trying to ignore, that you're trying to run away from. It's
yeah,
still a distraction for you because if you're not checking in on your mental health, or if you're going through depression and you
right.
think I just got to work more, or if you're suffering from anxiety, I just got to work more.
Hmm.
Eventually, once you do sit yourself down, the problem has gotten so far out of whack that you don't even know how to get back to normal.
Right, right, right. You don't you get to a point where you this all
Hmm.
and there is no. I mean, you can always with therapy and all that stuff come back, but
Hmm.
it makes that journey a lot harder, and you have to do other uncomfortable things in order
Hmm.
to make it there. I know that it can affect not just you and your mental health, but the mental health of the people around you and the relationships of the people around you. I had an uncle of mine who used to work so much. He was just grinding all the time, all the time, all the time. And his wife was like, "We don't need the money. We
We
need you.
need you. Yeah.
We need you in the house." And
Yep.
it was hard for him to really grasp that concept because he was always told, "I gotta work, I gotta put food on the table, I gotta make sure my daughter go to college, I gotta make sure that." And it took for his daughter to say, "Hey, it's great that you put a college fund out, for me. I want you to be there when I graduate college."
I know, right? I want you to be able to be there to see it.
Right, exactly. So that was something that he struggled with for a while. He's gotten a lot better with it, but I know that was something that it was tough, and I think it's tough for a lot of Black men out there.
Yeah, and single moms, and we deal with a lot of that guilt. I remember when I was doing that,
Mm,
working the 2 to 3 jobs. I would leave work, leave home, go to work, come home, change, go to my second job, come home, and my children were already in the bed sleep when I get home. So I wasn't spending no time with them.
right.
I was being a cell phone parent, making sure,
Mm,
from the phone, make sure y'all eat, make sure y'all do y'all homework, make sure y'all take y'all bath, y'all be in the bed, get in the bed at this certain time, and then when I get home, they're in the bed, and then we get up in the morning, do it all over again.
right.
I was not being present. I was just
Right.
just going out there working to make a paycheck, and distract myself from my troubles. But many of us have to realize when you're working, 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 and then when you do come home, if you have any time to spend with your family, but all you really want to do is lay down and sleep or
Yeah.
just lay around, you're still not being present in their lives. So, what good are you to them? You're just
Right.
being a
Exactly.
paycheck.
Exactly. Yeah. Kids are not just a financial responsibility. They're an emotional responsibility.
Hmm.
That you have to be there to because your job as a parent is to parent. Your job as a parent is to make sure that these kids learn the things that they need to learn to become functioning adults. It's hard for you to do that when you're always at work, when you see them once or twice, a
Hmm.
week, or you see them at night, you see them in the morning. You see them at
Hmm.
night, see them at the morning. They can't call on you to do nothing. Mama can't come to my game because she working.
Hmm.
Daddy can't come to my game because he working.
Hmm.
It unfortunately the Black community it happens a lot.
Yes. And in that interim, your physical health is declining as well. I,
Hmm.
I started noticing that I was, no matter how much water I drink during the day, I was still thirsty
Yeah,
all the time.
right.
And I knew that wasn't normal. And
Yeah,
that
that's
and I had to look into it. That's the first signs of becoming diabetic.
yeah, yeah.
And I was that scared the mess out of me. And I know because my mother now is currently on medicines for diabetes and high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And then I bought me a at home blood pressure monitor to start checking my blood pressure, and it was elevated. And I was like, I'm not going down this road. I'm not
Right.
doing it. I'm about to start pulling back, checking in on myself, getting my rest, and paying and stop all this overworking. And for what? And what am I doing it for? I'm not doing it for the right reasons anyway.
Right. That's the big things. Evaluate the reasons that you're doing all your work. And I know why I was working and some of the things that I was doing, but even now I still sit back, as of the last few days, sitting back like, okay, is there anything I could change to where I'm not working as much?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see where me continuing to go down that path could lead to some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, it's Fat Boy Summer, but I need to try to make sure that I get, a little bit toned down,
Mm-hmm.
keep my self in shape. So yeah, I mean, you look at it and you gotta reevaluate what's really necessary. Is all them hours that you're putting in really necessary?
Yeah. Yeah, that I definitely understand that, to sure. Just
Yeah.
make sure
You're
you're
gonna be
balancing it
surprised.
out so that you can stay as healthy as possible, rested, recharged as possible. Um, because you don't want to go too far left to any extreme, any one of those
Right.
extremes. Um, But yeah, this has been a great conversation. I
Oh yeah.
appreciate you all for joining in, especially on this July 4th when I know everybody else is out there barbecuing and celebrating, somewhere along the line.
Mhm.
This just has not this is not really a big day for me, especially, since we celebrated Juneteenth already. As far as I'm concerned, we could celebrate Juneteenth again on July 4th.
A lot of people are. A lot of people been doing it like that. They just ain't said it and
Yeah,
verbalized it. But
right.
see, the thing that I'm upset about is I still ain't heard no knock at my door. I've been sitting here waiting and looking. I ain't got a plate yet. You ain't got no biscuits. I'm like, look. Just leave it at the door and knock. It's fine. I'm good with
Right,
that.
right. Send that Uber Eats or that
Right,
Grubhub or
exactly.
whatever.
Exactly. Definitely. Send it on over. I'm good with it. Just let me know who made the potato salad first.
I know, right? That's a big deal.
Huh, for real.
Who made that tater salad and who made that macaroni and cheese?
For real. Who made that bacon? She said, I'll Uber eat you some ass.
Some air.
Air don't taste good.
I know. I don't like air. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, tuning in on this dope discussion. We will be back next Sunday, same time, same place. Make sure that you have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you will be notified every time we go live.
Make sure you do that because we want you to join the virtual congregation. We want to see y'all on them pews and tell your friends, tell your mom and them too. We don't be cussing that much.
I got real good at the cussing. I think no, I ain't fully.
No, not completely. No, but you the one got me to where I don't be cussing like that. Because if
Love
y'all
you
look at
too,
some of the
Tashira.
early episodes of Dope Discussions, I used to have to
Ooh.
be sitting there. Holding my tongue.
I let some cuss words out in the early episodes too. We had to go back and listen.
For real.
All
Definitely
right.
love y'all though.
Love you, Tashira. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next
Peace out,
week.
everybody.